73 days to the December polls. Good afternoon and welcome to Election Brief on your election headquarters. I'm Arba Kumson, and in our first story, Electoral Commission to begin continuous registration exercise to allow persons who were unable to register during the mass registration exercise to do so. We'll hear from the Commission, which has issued a statement. Also, NPP MP for Legio Cuckoo, Dr. Bernard Okuboy, says the government is working to fix the poor road network in the constituency ahead of the December elections.
From a leader who is very well positioned and committed, it is possible to attend to their problems.
We'll hear from him. Also, Member of Parliament for Dome Kwabenya, Sarah Adwa Safo, launches a manifesto for the 2020 parliamentary elections, which is novel. We'll look at what she is promising.
We are continuing to transform Ghana, and we will put Ghana on a different level.
Also in this bulletin, we'll share some of your opinions on this week's political stories. We are live on your DSTV channel 421, GoTV channel 144 on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Follow JoyNews on TV. We stream on myjoyonline.com. On YouTube, we are JoyNews TV. Stay tuned in. Thanks for staying with us. Now, the Electoral Commission has assured political parties it is committed to safeguarding the integrity of the electoral roll as they pledge to rectify anomalies that have characterized the ongoing exhibition exercise. Speaking to JoyNews at the sidelines of Thursday's Inter-Party Advisory Committee meeting at the EC, Director of Communications Sylvia Ano said the Commission will soon begin a continuous registration exercise to allow persons who were unable to register during the mass registration exercise to do so. She's been speaking to Kwesi Parker Wilson.
With IPAC, you always have divergent. Most of the time, you have divergent views, and for us, it's very normal. Except that when the issues come up, we also need to educate the general public and let them know that the Electoral Commission will not delete the names of qualified persons from the voters register. And again, to assure the general public that the Electoral Commission is doing all in its power to ensure that all the problems that have arisen out of the within the process are being rectified.
Now, finally, what's the way forward now? Now that we are done with IPAC, what's the way forward? I know that you've extended the registration, the exhibition exercise, 2 more days, yes. So it's not going to end on Sunday. And again, we are told that there's some continuous registration. I mean, what was this?
The details will be unfolded by the Commission. It may be announced by the Commission, so let's wait. No. At the moment, let's talk about the exhibition. That's the most important thing at the right time.
From the EC itself.
Yeah, the Commission may come out to announce that. So let's wait for that to happen. The details of that to be.
Was it part of your conversation? Because other political parties talked about it when I was speaking to them.
Yes, the Commission will come out formally to announce it. The continuous registration and come out with the modalities and the dates, to allow those who for one reason or the other could not register during the period that was allotted, the general public to do so.
I see. And when should we expect this announcement?
As soon as practicable, the Commission will come out. Very soon.
We are barely just about 12 days to enter the 60 days cut-off point. Is it feasible?
The Commission is mindful of that, so definitely it will be within the scope.
But is it feasible? You register, you exhibit, they validate their names before you capture them?
It is doable.
It is doable?
Yes. Let us wait for the Commission to come out.
Now, the Electoral Commission says it will open registration for prospective voters on October 1. The one-day exercise is to allow the EC capture the names of prospective applicants who were unable to register during the mass registration exercise. According to the Commission, the one-day exercise will take place in their district offices across the country, and they've released a statement on this matter. And it reads, the Electoral Commission wishes to inform the general public that it is reopening the voters' registration exercise for 1 day. This is to give opportunity to those who have attained the age of 18 and citizens who, for one reason or the other, were not able to register in the just-ended registration exercise. The date for the exercise is Thursday, 1st October 2020, and the registration will take place in the district offices nationwide. The registration starts from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Meanwhile, the opposition NDC is questioning the rationale behind the second round of registration. Kwame Griffiths is director of IT for the party.
Anybody who registers 60 days before the election cannot vote anyway. Just in the next 10 or 12 days, we will enter that 60 days. So why the need for a continuous registration at that time? But you have your hands around the registration, which has been a messy registration that is unprecedented. It has had issues that are unprecedented in this country. Your systems are not working well. In fact, a male and a female has been caught as the same person by your biometric, which means that we have thrown away a very credible biometric system for a very inferior one. Because there are several instances one person has been deemed to register twice within a span of 6 seconds. There are instances where at the same center, somebody has been deemed to register. Meanwhile, on that machine, there should be an EFIS that will disallow the registration twice, instantly.
So for you, the EC should abandon the idea of the continuous registration exercise?
Well, I am of the view, and it's common sense, that if you register continuously now, you have to exhibit, and that exhibition must also take place within the 12 days. So you say you are going to tell political parties, give the modalities for continuous registration. We are 12 days away. So it comes on, and then maybe the next 2 or 3 days, you send us the modalities. Continuous registration happens, and within the next 2 or 3 days, you need to exhibit, which means you need to put the data together and print. You see, these people have lost.
Technically impossible. That's what you say.
Well, if you say that it's technically impossible per the experience we have had, we told the Electoral Commission that it was technically impossible to have any meaningful register within this short time, and we are all witnesses to what is happening.
Now let's turn our attention on the Asawase constituency, because the MP for the area, Muntaka Mubarak, is alleging that 1,246 names of voters in his constituency have been deleted from the register, whilst another 3,901 names that were not registered during the voters' registration exercise have been added. Now, the Majority Chief Whip, in a statement issued today, said that these anomalies were detected by the NDC in the constituency. Kwesi Parker Wilson is on Zoom, joins us on Zoom with details of the statement. So, Parker, what more does the statement say?
Right, so the Member of Parliament is making the point that there are some discrepancies in the exhibition register. Now, according to him, 101,639 voters were captured during the mass registration exercise. Now, today, the numbers that have been exhibited are 100,316 voters. So there is some clear difference there. Now, he goes on to say that many of the centers, the names have also been deleted from those areas. And he cited where Wabai electoral area that they registered about 767 at a time, but today they have 296, a clear difference of about 471. So these are his concerns. Now, he goes on again to say that also many names have also been added to the register, the registered voters list for some centers. For example, if you go to Ashaiman, he says that about 385 voters were registered during the mass registration exercise. Today, it is 1,545. A difference of about 1,160 names have been added to the exhibition register. So these are the questions he's raising. And in his letter to the Electoral Commission, he's asking for answers. And then he's indicated to the Electoral Commission that they will be available to provide all the evidence if indeed they want some further clarification to the issues he has raised.
All right, many thanks, Parker. Kwesi Parker Wilson there with the details of a statement issued by MP for Asawase, Muntaka Mubarak. Let's turn our attention to the the Legio Cuckoo MP, Dr. Bernard Okoboy, who says government is working to fix the poor road network in the constituency ahead of the December 7 elections. Speaking on the Battleground show with Emefa Apawu last night on Joy 99.7 FM, Dr. Okoboy expressed confidence this will translate into victory for the party.
The Lekma road has been attended to. There are about 6 roads that are being worked on concurrently as I speak. It's the first time in the history of the community. You have roads like the Malik to Alloway Trubler Road being worked on. You have roads like the U2 to Siledi Road being worked on. The Pene Road being worked on. The Tebipiano bypass to Bush Road being worked on. So, I mean, the constituents have come to believe that with a strong advocacy regime from a leader who is very well positioned and committed, it is possible to attend to their problems.
Well, his opponent on the ticket of the NDC, Benayiku, did not participate in the discussion, but his supporters are confident he'll be victorious. They're giving him credit for constructing roads there.
Ayiku, who filled the road? Ayiku have done a lot. When you go to Nungwa, since former Kwekuma time, they have constructed all the link-up roads.
Now, Member of Parliament for Ashaiman constituency, Ernest Norgbey, says it's impossible for the MPP parliamentary candidate there, Alhaji Yakubu Labaran, to unseat him in the upcoming polls. He argues that although Alhaji Labaran is with the governing party, he's failed to push for the construction of the better roads in that constituency. This would be the second time the MPP candidate is contesting the MP. In 2016, Alhaji Labaran garnered 40% of the vote cast, while the MP, Ernest Norgbey, secured 58%. The MP says, judging from their performance in the last elections, his contender is no match for him.
Even the PNC, CPP, all other unknown political parties will always tell you that we are winning hands down. They are winning hands down. You understand? When you come into close contact with a PNC presidential candidate, he will tell you he's winning this national election. The PNC will take it. No political party, neither an individual who will put up himself for an election, who will engage in media and tell them, or even the populists and tell them that he cannot win or he's not winning. So it's a rhetoric. He's also just saying something. 2016, he did worse than this. 2016 was when I unseated Honorable Alfred Agbesi. So there were so many. Candidate. I was a new candidate, right. And so many. I mean, allegations. I'm not born in Ashaiman. He's an Ashaiman boy. He's born here. Was born here. Blah blah blah. And where did he land him? So today, if he makes those statements once again, you just disregard them. I will just disregard them.
So they should ignore Labaran, is that what you're saying?
Labaran is a threat to you. Labaran is not I'm not sure even he can win assembly election.
Labaran cannot win an assembly election.
No, he cannot even win an assembly election.
A man who has won the parliamentary candidate or the parliamentary slot of the governing MPP.
Their party have regretted. His party in Ashaiman constituency have regretted voting for him as a candidate. They have regretted so badly, but there's nothing they could do at this point in time. So they just have to allow him to go like that. What has Labaran after 2016 election? Labaran was, or let me say, is the only parliamentary candidate who lost power in Greater Accra that the MPP did not even consider giving any position. The government did not even consider giving any position. Your government is in power. What did you do for the people of Ashaiman? 2016, 2014, 2015, when NDC was in power, I was not holding any government position. But that was when I created so many jobs for the youth of Ashaiman. I made sure we fix them in government sector.
Now, Ernest Norgbey is also targeting about 75% of the votes in the upcoming parliamentary elections in December.
Yeah, this election we are targeting about 75% of the total vote cast. And if we have 167,000, barring any last-minute Machiavellian tactics by the Electoral Commission, we still have our 167,000 people on the register. We can have a voter turnout of over, normally Ashaiman voter turnout is always 80%. 80%. So we can have about a voter turnout of maybe 130 or 140,000 voter turnout. So out of this, why not? We can hit over 90 to between 85 to 100,000 votes in Ashaiman. Because I'm saying that with a sense that we should look at the period of registration and the period of voting, the enthusiasm that led to the registration wouldn't die before the voting. People will still be energized to come and vote because they were energized within 4 months. Then we are going for voting, so we can get a very huge voter turnout this time. And when we do that, we'll be able to garner almost between 75,000-80,000.
Well, some say 4.
Now let's turn our attention onto another legislator, this time round the MP for Kwabenya constituency, Sarah Ajosafo. She's vowing to localize the promises made by the MPP in its 2020 manifesto within her constituency. The legislator, who is also Minister of State in charge of procurement, has been assuring her constituents of a commitment to implement far-reaching policies to bolster development in the constituency in the area of infrastructure and human capital. Speaking at an event to launch her 2020 manifesto, Ajosafo stressed that the next 4 years under the leadership will see an extension of President Akufo-Addo's vision of expanding access to education and empowering women.
That is our first victory. That tells you that we need to go out in our numbers and vote for Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and for Ajosafo to continue the good works that we've done for the people of Kwabenya and the people of Ghana. Fugodu. We have done a lot when it comes to roads. We have done a lot when it comes to education. We have done a lot when it comes to market infrastructure. We've done a lot when it comes to health, and name it, sports, youth empowerment, and women empowerment. This is a party that believes in the youth, and this is a party that believes in women. We believe that the future is with our youth, and that is why we want to educate every child, to give every child that dream of becoming an important person in this society and to contribute to our socio-economic development. I strongly believe that with a visionary leader like Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, with a God-sent Messiah like Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, we are continuing to transform Ghana, and we will put Ghana on a different level, and it will come with the battle ahead of us.
Now let's head to the Northeast region, where a local chairman of the New Patriotic Party at Zangum near Walewale has threatened to lead a campaign to vote against the party if the government fails to repair the roads to the community before the 2020 general elections. Mohammed Salifu is demanding the MPP government to fix the 6-kilometer Zangum-Walewale road, which, according to him, has been in a deplorable state for a while, or risk losing their votes.
Already in poor state, the onset of the rains coincided with the spillage of the Bagri Dam have left several major roads across the region flooded, littered with potholes, and impossible for lorries and trucks to traverse. According to residents in the area, poor state of the Zangum-Walewale road was causing lots of unimaginable suffering to them, as they are unable to transport their goods and seek essential public services at the municipal capital. The residents say they are always compelled to organize communal labor to put the road into good shape whenever the situation gets out of hand and traveling on the road is impossible. They add that the nature of the road has caused several accidents to motorists and affected economic activities in the area. Now they say they are tired and need government to pay immediate attention to fixing the road or risk losing their votes. Here is a local chairman of the ruling party.
The same can Sam the Sahawa or can ya grabble Nyala.
This road has been in bad state for a long time after it was gravelled during the time of Honorable Nabila Suleiman. It has since been in this deplorable state throughout the period of Atamils, John, up to Nana, and still there's none to rescue us. They continue to promise us. So I, Chairman Suchira, have already informed them at the district assembly that MPP will only win if the road is fixed. If the road is not fixed, MPP will lose here.
In politics. So my Mali, Cable Mali,
Other residents also spoke to JoyNews.
If looking at this, the road is just about 5 kilometers, not even up to 5 kilometers from here to Wale. So, in fact, it's a very big headache to us, to the community. Myself, I was attacked by armed robbers because I can't move. The road is sandy. When it is in the dry season, it's sandy. You can't even move. So we are appealing to the authority to do something about the road. Otherwise, the community people are agitating to do demonstration.
And up to this stage, the road is still very poor and bad. So even this year, we are looking, the community as a whole, we are looking at it in such a way that if we don't look our.
Now, the NDC's flag bearer and his running mate called off their campaigns over what they described as a poorly organized registration exercise. And we have so many other stories dominating the headlines this week. So let's hear what you, the viewer, the listener, had to say about some of these issues. We start off with the voters registration exercise. And Sir Ronnie NK writes, normal. Of course, it's very normal, and that's why the exhibition exercise is done before elections. The essence of the exercise is to correct such anomalies. Circumstance de Prof writes, these people in the EC should credit Ghanaians with some level of intelligence. These are the same errors you pointed out as a basis for compiling a new register. What kind of joke is this? Sadat Gregory writes, has this happened before? No. Therefore, this is not normal. EC has its credibility to protect. Madam Jean Mensah, if you can't do the work, it's better you resign than to become a tool for destabilizing the nation. Please, please. And Kimali writes, the fact that the register is made open for voters to proof check and probably amend their own personal information isn't an excuse for the Electoral Commission to exhibit this kind of gross incompetence, especially after all that taxpayers' money was needlessly used to acquire supposedly better advanced technology that we were promised eliminates such incidents of errors. And Reverend Chapters writes, I don't get this. The EC is very much aware that there will certainly be some errors in the register, hence the need for exhibition prior to election. So why do some of us make it seem like it's a big deal? Check for your details and correct them. Simple. An institution fast losing its credit because of poor leadership. Next, let's look at your comments on government's job creation agenda. And Nyamiasem Ekuangela writes, the NDC creates jobs that are real. MPP creates them on paper and even goes ahead to rebrand old ones as new. It is important to state that this government only did job replacement in the public sector. They dismissed the civil servants and appointed party members only. Charles Watting writes, what the youth of this country require are education, employment opportunities, and enabling environment to do business. The NPP comes top in all areas. The works of the NEIP, the MBSSI, the YEA, Zongo and Inner City Development Ministry, etc., in providing jobs are evident enough. Leadership of service also writes, MPP has done so well in regards to employment, which the NDC can testify to, hashtag NAPCO, etc. The MPP is the first administration that has reduced the unemployment rate drastically in this country. Nane Akufo-Addo deserves another 4 years, hashtag 4 more for Nana to do more. And Algo Francis says, with all Okay, all right. So on Thursday, the DCE for Setre East was sacked. Here are your comments on this particular matter. And Agor Francis writes, with all due respect, if this DCE was to be accused of corruption, would she have been sacked or cleared? Alasan Abubakari says, oh, but they could just have waited for December 7 so that all of them will just leave. So keep your comments coming in, and that's how we wrap it for this week's edition of Election Brief. I'm Barbara Coombs, and remember you can join us same time every weekday, 1:30 p.m. here on your Joy News and Election Headquarters.